This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Madison Carmouche. A blast of Arctic air is set to hit eastern Kentucky this weekend and going into next week. Our First Alert Weather Day continues as First Alert meteorologist Ben Beddoes has an update.
Well, it's a very cold night out there. Temperatures right now are into the 20s, 24 in Jackson, 26 for Hazard, Manchester, 24 in London, 26 in Williamsburg right now, 26 in Harlan, 27 in Middlesboro. A little bit colder out to the west, 22 in Irvin, 20 in Moorhead, and we have the teens across central Kentucky. But we take a look really at the forecast for tonight. We'll continue to see snow showers work into the area. Temperatures are going to fall down more into low to mid 20s as we'll have a little bit of a light breeze, but yeah, scattered snow showers will begin to move in and start to accumulate as well. We take a look at tomorrow's breakdown, and we're going to be stuck into the mid to upper 20s, and we're going to continue to see the periods of snow throughout the day, especially in the afternoon. Temperatures throughout the day into the low to mid 20s. We start out on the light side with those snow showers, but then they pick up intensity as we go into the afternoon and into the evening. And of course, we have winter storm warnings across much of the area. This is until really Tuesday until noon that we have this area shaded in pink where we have those winter storm warnings. Across north and west part of the area, we still have those advisories in place. I'll have more details about this coming up.
Thank you, Ben. Weather conditions in the region have many folks on high alert, including the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. I spoke with officials at KYTC in Perry County about their plans for preparing the roadways and keeping drivers safe. As the threat of high winds and cold temperatures become a reality for folks throughout the Commonwealth, officials with KYTC are making sure they are prepared for any scenario.
Okay, we come in this morning, we had our weather statement yesterday, and we're getting all of our saws ready. We've already got our snow equipment ready.
Napier says that when they receive threats of icy and snowy weather, the regional directors give them direction on how many trucks to deploy for the road treatments.
Freezing rain and stuff, we'll have all of our trucks out treating. And with snow, we have 10 trucks, and we'll have all 10 trucks out.
And with high winds also being a threat, the crews are on standby in case of downed trees and power lines.
If the road's blocked, you know, we'll get that tree moved as quick as we can. It won't take long. Just be patient with us, and we'll get it moved. There's not much you can do with freezing rain and ice on the road. Snow and ice, it's not bad. We usually get out pretty early and treat the roads. Just basically listen to the weather. Listen to the weather forecast.
But ultimately, Napier recommends that drivers stay home unless it is an emergency. With temperatures dropping below freezing, it is important to make sure home and apartment owners take action to keep their pipes from freezing. One way many people avoid their pipes from freezing over is by leaving their faucets running. However, some city officials in Hazard advise against leaving water running. Officials say if you leave your water running, it could have a huge impact on city water system.
If we have major breaks and if everybody's trying to run their water, then we're going to start losing tanks. And if we lose tanks, and instead of us being out water a day or two, it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we just ask people to, use your head.
If they can, avoid leaving their faucets dripping. You end up using as much water at night as we do during the day. And under the current system that we have, we're maxed out with the plant.
Members of the Hazard Fire Department suggest using space heaters and heat tape to keep pipes from freezing. We will have more on ways to keep your home and apartment safe during cold times tonight at 11. Also, with these bitter temperatures, some people might look to using a space heater to warm up their homes. However, fire officials see more house fires during the winter months. Corbin Fire Public Information Officer Nathan Kirby says you should make sure your space heater is newer and is the only thing plugged into an outlet.
And not use anything else on that outlet. Also, it's a bad idea to use a worn out extension cord with these. Don't use an extension cord at all. If you do use an extension cord on other things in your home, make sure that it is in good working order, there's no frayed wires on it, and that it's new.
Kirby says it is important to get rid of fire hazards such as blankets and other things that could easily catch on fire. We will have more on how to stay safe tonight at 11. One person has died in a house fire in Floyd County. Firefighters say a woman's body was recovered from inside a mobile home along Willow Valley just before 8 this morning. The victim's body has not been identified at this time. The coroner's office is now escorting her body to the medical examiner's office. One Breathitt County business is dealing with the loss of a building after an early morning fire. The Jackson Fire Department responded to a call that Country Kitchen in Jackson was in flames at approximately 3 a.m. The Watts County Fire and Rescue as well as Van Cleve Fire Department responded to the scene as well. Ultimately, fire officials say the fire resulted in a total loss of the business. In Laurel County, multiple fire departments responded to a fire on I-75 South. Early Sunday morning, the Laurel County Fire Department, East Bernstadt Fire and Rescue, and Ecotech USA responded to a commercial vehicle fire. The highway was closed but was reopened just before 10 p.m. Flu season is in full swing. Norton Healthcare has confirmed more than 800 cases in their system this month. Julia Navarez Munguia says she shows us what you can do if your little one gets sick.
School is back in session after winter break, and so is the flu. Dr. Amel Shalosh is a pediatrician at Norton Healthcare in Frankfurt. She says that the uptick is normal for this time of year, but it's always important to watch for signs of the flu.
Oftentimes it's fever ranging from 101 to 102, body aches, cough, congestion, headache, occasionally sore throat.
Dr. Shalosh says if your child does get the flu,
Tylenol or ibuprofen as needed for the body aches or fever. Honey for cough. Honey is a great home remedy. It's much better than a lot of the over-the-counter medications. There's no side effects.
And if your child's temperature is over 102 or if they're having difficulty breathing, Dr. Shalosh says to seek help immediately.
They can always call their pediatrician, and their pediatrician will be able to guide them to say, okay, come in or go straight to the ER.
Dr. Shalosh says the best way to prevent the flu from you and your child is...
The vaccine is very, very important. Vaccinations have been proven to be effective, and so I highly recommend, and it's never too late.
In Frankfurt, Julia Narvaez Munguia, WKYT.
If your child has an underlying disorder such as asthma and gets the flu, Dr. Shalosh says it is always a good idea to bring your child to their pediatrician. The Safe Infant Act allows parents to anonymously leave babies younger than 30 days old at a designated safe place. In this case, it was a fire station. Chris and Brittany Tyler knew the baby boy would go to a foster home and prayed it would be their home. He was their 16th foster child, but they immediately knew he would be a part of their family forever.
He was with us in one home the entire time, so he didn't bounce around in the system. It just took a while to get the paperwork done.
To celebrate the adoption, the family went to Build-A-Bear, and he now has his own firefighter bear. A Greenup County woman and her boyfriend have been charged in connection to the suspicious death of her 5-year-old daughter. According to the state police, Aubrey Stowers was found dead in her home back in June. Police say Rachel Waddle Stowers and Christopher Stiltner were arrested at the same home Thursday. Troopers say the grand jury determined there was enough evidence to issue indictment warrants for murder on the couple. It said the child died from multiple blunt force injuries. KSP Public Affairs Officer Shane Goodall says they are still waiting on test results to come back.
It's hard on the victim's family, and it's also hard on the perpetrator's families. You know, a lot of people's been affected by this case.
An arraignment for Rachel Waddle Stowers is scheduled for Thursday morning. Christopher Stiltner's arraignment has been set for January 31st. According to the Lexington Police, 475 guns were reported stolen in 2023. The Lexington Police also say that 86% of all guns stolen in 2023 were stolen from vehicles. Sean Morrow is the special agent in charge of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms in Kentucky. He says while there's no state law preventing legal gun owners from keeping their firearms in their vehicles, storing them safely could help promote public safety.
That means that a lawful gun owner left a firearm unsecured in a vehicle and a criminal was able to break in and obtain that firearm. Now, a burglary can ultimately lead to a violent crime.
If you must keep your firearm in your vehicle, Special Agent Murrow recommends considering a trigger mechanism or a lockbox to make sure your gun can't be used by someone who shouldn't have it. Kentucky State Police are investigating a shooting in Knox County. Sheriff's deputies say they were called just before 8 Saturday evening to Higgins Hollow Road in the Bibble community. Detectives say a man was shot after reportedly trying to break into a home. The man was flown to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made. And nearly 100 million Americans are experiencing the threats and aftermaths of severely cold temperatures.